Hi students, welcome to this introduction. Today what I'm going to do is give you a fairly good idea about law as a career. Okay, so my name is Padma and I'm one of the directors of Abhyaas EduCorp, and we have been training CLAT students right from 2010. So 8 years our students have written the CLAT exam. Some of them have gone on to become lawyers. They have finished their course. They are practicing either in the courts or in different law firms. And some of the students are studying in institutes like Nalsar or NUJS or HNLU Raipur, Symbiosis, a wide range of colleges. And there are some students who are aspiring to be lawyers like you. So, well, I'm assuming you're all in +2 right now. So, let's see. What are the career options that are available to you today? Some of you, maybe you're doing your MPC or BPC, CC, MEC, any of these courses, commerce or science. And let's see what are all the opportunities that are available for you. What are the career opportunities that you have been thinking of? So some of you could have been thinking about engineering. Most students and parents for that matter would talk about engineering. That's the most commonly known career all around. Okay, so apart from that, so for that, those MPC students would think about engineering, and BPC students would probably think about medicine. That is what you're all familiar with. You think that's the only way forward. But there are other options available. Those who are keenly interested in research or science-based subjects can probably go on to do MSc and then do PhD, get into teaching, all that kind of things. That's one stream available. Commerce students can either go for a management degree, or they could go into BCom, or they could get into accountancy, chartered accountancy, or those kind of subjects. That's another stream that's available. They also go in for, any of these students can actually go in for management as a career. They do an MBA. I hope you all know the premier institutes in the country to do an MBA. Yes? That's right, it's the IIMs. Another section of students could probably think of defense as a career. And I don't know how many of you have an interest and a penchant for creativity and drawing, maybe photography, drawing, website designs, animation. All these is another ball game altogether. You have institutes like National Institute of Design. I'm sure you've heard of NIFT, NIFT. So these are all institutions that cater to design as a career. But today, what I'm going to talk to you about is a career in law. Yes, a career in law. What does it mean? And how is law different from all the others? Now, what's your idea about career in law? Mostly it would be from what you see in films. You'd have heard law, okay, lawyer, Chettu Kinda pleader. Once upon a time, say around 20 years ago, who would do law? Most students would either go for engineering, or they would go in for medicine, or they would do BCom. Once they have done these things, people do, or some would have done BCom or a BA, or maybe BSc. And now they didn't get a job. What's the next option? Obviously, students can't sit at home. It's difficult, you get pocket money, you need pocket money, you want to go watch movies, you need to be on your own. So what would they do? Then the next best thing, get into another course. Which course? A lot of students would then go in for doing LLB as a, not necessarily thinking of law as a career, but more as another course to do to keep oneself busy. let's be busy by doing law. That was the scene, say 20-25 years earlier. Today, it's no longer, and those people, again there are two sections. There is some set of people who have lawyers in their families. They would establish their careers and do very well. Another section of people who would start their careers as a lawyer. Now to start their careers of lawyer, that's where you have seen all these movies where you have this Chettukinda pleader, start off trying to get, I don't know how many of you have seen Jolly LLB. You'd have seen people sitting literally under the tree and trying to get their clients. So that is another set of lawyers. But today, that's no longer the scene. Nobody starts their career like that. What is the opportunity once you do law? Why should one do law? Okay. So let's see here. Law as a career is self-sufficient. You do a 5-year course in law and you are ready to face the world. You are ready to go out and get a job. You don't even need to go out to get a job. Companies will come to your college and recruit you. That's the type of career it is today. Okay? And no longer today, people think of doing a law right in school or when they are in their 11th or 12th. At that stage itself, they decide, yes, I want to do law. Nobody waits till they are 20 and try out all other options and then get to law. No, that's not the way it is done today. In fact, that will not work also, because the best law schools in the country have an entrance exam, and in order to get there, they have to beat all the competition and get there. So it can't be an afterthought. It can't be that, okay, I prepare for an IIT entrance and I will also write a law exam. No, that's not the way it's going to happen. Anyway, we'll look at that a little later in terms of what is the law exam and how do you need to prepare for it. But do understand at this stage, law as a career is self-sufficient. You do a course in law, you become a lawyer, and you are set for life. The second most important aspect, demand. Why do you choose any career? At the end of the day, we are all here to make money. The bottom line is money. Papi pet ka sawal hai, right? So you have to make money. And which career will be in demand? Will there be recession? Will there be demand going up, going down? Automation is coming. Maybe some jobs will go away. Do understand, some jobs might go away, but one job which will never go away, or rather I would say 2 or 3 jobs are there which will never go away. A teacher's job will never go away, doctor's job will never go away, and another job like that is a lawyer's job. Definitely there will be a need for lawyers. As long as there are people in society, there are going to be issues. And when there are issues, who do you go to? You will go to a lawyer. So lawyers will always be in demand. And with that comes, I don't know how many of you have heard of this word, lucrative. Do you know what lucrative means? Lucrative is money. Ability to earn lot of money. Lucrative is something very profitable. It's a very profitable career. Why? Any idea how much money a Harish Salve or a Ram Jethmalani or people like that will make when they go in for a case, or Chidambaram? When they represent any party and they go to court, they will charge for every minute spent in the court. And of course also for all the money that time that they are spending in their office doing the preparation for going to the court. All this will be chargeable. And believe me, their rates are going to be very, very high. It's not a small fee that they're going to charge. So money wise, yes, definitely it's a lucrative thing. Now we're talking about court. Even if not court, even any other law firm also. Today, anybody who is passing out of a good law school, a very good law school like say Nalsar, their average salary could be anything like 50,000 to 60,000 per month, or it could be, some of them could be getting 1 or 2 lakhs per month also. Now just imagine your friends who would complete their engineering in IIT may be getting around 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. and you not having taken maths, I know a lot of you regret, sometimes parents regret that why you're not taken MPC, you're not going for engineering, you will not get opportunities to go abroad, all those kind of things. But do understand, if you do your law from a college like Nalsar or NLSIU Bangalore, any top tier college, definitely you will be nothing less than earning nothing less than all the engineers who come out of the IITs, and sometimes you could be even doing more than that. So definitely it is going to be a lucrative kind of, very profitable kind of an career for you. Knowledge intensive, you are the go-to person, everybody will come, arey lawyer, he will know everything. Any issue, go to a lawyer, he will advise what next to do. So knowledge is power. The minute you are knowledgeable, you are powerful. So this industry is knowledge intensive, and people will give you a lot of respect in society for being a lawyer. So all these are good enough reasons for you. And of course, it's not a very common one. If you see engineering, medicine, very common. Nowadays, even chartered accountants, you have lots of them. But lawyers are not so common in society today. So that is definitely a go-to kind of thing, a prestigious kind of thing, right? Now, if you look at the indication, let me give you an indication of how the competition is for law. For IITs, I'm sure you know that there are lakhs of students who will write IIT for a few thousands of seats, right? Now, for CLAT, let's see, 2017, approximately 47,000 students wrote CLAT, and there were 2,240 seats, which means for every 20 or 21 students who wrote the exam, one person got a seat. So for every 20 persons, one will get a seat. If you take the IITs, engineering entrance, out of every 50 people or 100 people who write a seat, only one can get a seat in the IITs. So that's the kind of competition. But when you look at CLAT, out of every 20, one can get. So the competition is very less compared to that. So the efforts that you put, better chances of getting success. So that is a major difference, and that should be a good enough incentive for you to take up law as a career. Coming to what you need to do. Yes, you have to write an exam called CLAT, Common Law Admission Test. This is conducted by one of the national law university. So just like engineering students go to IITs, you have Indian Institutes of Technology. Similarly, for management, people go to IIMs, Indian Institutes of Management. On the same lines, the central government has established national law universities. Today there are 18 national universities across different states. In Hyderabad you have Nalsar, the Telangana state, and in the Andhra state you have Vizag. In Vizag you have this Damodar Sanjeevayya National Law University. Nalsar has been established right in the beginning. It's very well established. It's in the top 3 in the country. Nevertheless, DSNLU has started around 7 years back, and already 2 batches have come out of DSNLU, and they are fast catching up. And you can believe me, this is a new state. Being a new state, the government is all out to make sure that students from there will succeed. So they will make sure that a lot of companies do come and hire from DSNLU also. So these are the national law universities. Now the question is, who can attempt this exam? This exam can be attempted by anybody who's completed class 12, or obviously it will be after they write their board exams, whether it is state board, ICSE, CBSE, it doesn't matter. Now the question is, which branch? Any student who has taken either humanities or science or MPC, BIPC, it doesn't matter. Anybody will be eligible, any stream, one can write CLAT exam. There is no restriction. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. Everybody will be equally eligible to write, and there is no preference given for the stream. Now, when is this exam conducted? This exam is an online exam and it is conducted on the second Sunday of May after all the board exams, class 12 board exams are over. Okay. What happens after you complete the course? The course itself is a 5-year, you write the exam and there's no interview or anything for CLAT. So it's a 5-year course. Earlier people had to do a BSc or a BA or a BCom and then do 3 years LLB. So it used to take 6 years to complete. Today you have a 5-year course. So they will give you a degree, either a BA LLB or a BBA LLB or a BCom LLB or a BSc LLB, one of these courses, and at the end of 5 years you become a lawyer. Okay. Once you finish law, in order to practice in court you might have to write another exam for the bar. But other than that you are able to get anywhere. And companies, as I said, will come and hire you in their law firms. Apart from that, those who are very keen on studying further, you have a lot of specializations like public international law, international trade law, European law, for those who are interested in going abroad or working on other kind of things. But for the others, as a career, what happens once you finish law? The most common or commonly known one, I would say, is litigation. What do you mean by litigation? When two people have a dispute, they go to court, and when they go to court, they will argue in front of the judge and you get a judgment, right? So that is called litigation. When disputes between two individuals happen, then it is called civil law. And if some crime is committed, say maybe some murder is happening, theft is happening, all types of offenses are there, when that happens, that is called criminal law, and you go to a criminal court. So you can either be a civil lawyer or a criminal lawyer. Again, within that there are different branches of lawyers. You can become one of them. So that's the most common. Today, of all the people who are graduating, maybe around 10 to 15% of the people who complete their law go into litigation. What do the others do? Yes, the others will become corporate lawyers. They join either finance companies, they will join different industries. Every company will have a legal department, because a company does not work in isolation. They work along with other companies. They have to work with the government. So when they do all that, what happens? There are different documents that they will be writing. And every document, they will be undergoing negotiations, contracts with different vendors. They will be having contracts with different partners. For all these things, you need a lawyer. So there is a legal department in bank. Every bank will have legal department. Every companies will have legal department. There are a lot of multinational corporations. So there is business happening with Indian company and a joint venture with some foreign company. For all these things, you need lawyers. So definitely corporate lawyers will do all these things. So corporate lawyer generally works in an AC office on a system. So that's their mode of operation. Okay. Next, judiciary is another very, very important. All the judges, they have to be lawyers first before they can become judges. So judiciary is another very, very important. You have judiciary at every level. You don't think it's only High Court and Supreme Court. You have the district courts, session courts, and at a lower level courts are there. After that, then there are High Courts and Supreme Court. So that's another judiciary, those who are interested in giving judgment and all. Of course, that's a lot more respectable again. Next, a very, very important industry. I'm sure you've all heard about BPO, Business Process Outsourcing. What is BPO? You have companies in US, UK, other countries. They have a lot of work that gets done, documentation work that gets done. Either it could be voice processing or it could be paperwork. All that happens in India. For instance, in US, somebody applies for a credit card. There's a lot of verification that needs to happen. Maybe the credit history needs to be checked. You have a lot of things to be done. All those things are done by the people. Only the interaction happens there. The rest of the work happens in India. So in the morning, during their daytime, they will give a request. During their nighttime, which is our daytime, it will be processed. And next day, things will be ready. So that kind of work is called BPO. Apart from that, you also have a lot of BPO where voice happens. That means things happen on the phone. People from here talk in different accents and all that. So that's another different industry. Now, we have in the legal industry, there is something called legal process outsourcing. Here you can't sit here and, appear in the court. That kind of thing is not possible. But there is a lot of back-end work for any case. Maybe there's only one lawyer who's representing in the court, but there's a lot of background work that needs to be done. And all that thing will happen in India. That is called legal process outsourcing. So you have a legal LPO, it's called LPO. So you have an LPO firm in India where you will be getting work from US, from UK, all these companies. And sometimes it could also entail travel there in certain cases. But most often you will have work here, but you're dealing with international clients. So the nature of the work, the quality of work definitely will be more challenging, it will be more interesting, all that kind of thing. And there are LPO companies like Deloitte is one. There are a lot of other LPO firms in India where the number of people are in thousands. Thousands of employees would be engaged in those kind of companies. So that's another very, very, it's a nascent industry. Maybe it's there for the last 7-8 years. It's there in India. So this is one very, very important one. Of course, just like in any other profession, you have research and academics as a very, very an alternative. So research, those who are interested in doing maybe LLM and then getting into teaching, maybe they want to do research work in that, PhD, all those things are possible. So once you finish law, these are all the different wide gamut of things which are available to. Any of these things you can go through. So definitely you don't have to have any doubts as to the what can be done after this. Also understand that this being desk intensive, knowledge intensive and a desk job kind of thing, it is ideal for ladies. Today in a lot of law schools, you can say 50% would be by girls, would be there in the law schools. So that's again very, very important because it's very, very convenient, especially for women when they go out to work and they have to take breaks and maybe have flexible timings and all that. This is a very good profession to think of. Now, what are the top law schools in the country? Yes, you have NLSIU, Bangalore. As I said, CLAT has got about 18 colleges. Some of 18 universities, national law universities. Out of them, some of them have been well established like Bangalore, Calcutta, Hyderabad, Jodhpur, Bhopal, Gandhinagar. These are some of the older institutes. You also have NLU Delhi and that has a separate exam. Similarly, you have Symbiosis in set of institutes. They have their own set of exams. So you have Symbiosis in Pune, Noida, and recently it's opened in Hyderabad also. Apart from that, Mumbai, you have ILS Pune and GLC, which is there in Government Law College in Mumbai. So these are some of the institutes that are there. Apart from these, you have a whole lot of new national law universities. All the other set of NLUs that you see there, they are all the recent ones that have come up, and all of them have good number of seats. Okay. Apart from this, okay, I write one exam. What if I don't make it? Yes. Apart from all these things, you have a whole bunch of other exams that you can write and other colleges that you can look at. Christ in Bangalore. In Delhi side, you have this Amity or Dehradun. Army Institute of Law is there in Mohali. Bharati Vidyapeeth is there in Pune and Ahmedabad. Maharashtra has another exam called Maharashtra Set. So don't worry, you have a whole bunch of exams. If you see, these are the exams that you can think of. CLAT, SET, ILET, LSAT. Apart from all these, closer home, for the states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, you have separate entrance exams. You have LawSet exam, TS LawSet and AP LawSet. Now with this exam, again, there are a whole bunch of colleges, both government colleges and private colleges, which will also give you a good opportunity. You may not be able to get a job which fetches you like 50,000 or 1 lakh, but definitely 15 to 20,000 you can earn if you get into if you come out of any of these colleges from a TS law set or an AP law set based colleges. Do remember, whichever college you get into, if you are in the top 20%, you have a very good chance of getting a good job. Anywhere it could be, whether it is a NALSA or whether it is a TS law set based college, the goal should be to be in the top 20. That's when you will get success. Now let's understand a little more about the CLAT exam itself. What is CLAT exam? What all do I need to study for that? The exam is going to be for 2 hours. You have 200 questions and it's a 2 hours online exam. Andarki computers unnai kada, phone undi andar degira, smartphones ఉంటాయి అందరి దగ్గర. స్మార్ట్ ఫోన్ ఉంటుంది, మీరు ఫేస్బుక్ చూస్తారు, వాట్సాప్ చేస్తారు, ఇవన్నీ చూస్తూ ఉంటారు కదా. యూఆర్ ఆల్ ఫెమిలియర్ విత్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. సిమిలర్లీ యువర్ ఎగ్జామ్ ఆల్సో ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు బి ఆన్లైన్. వన్స్ యూ ఆర్ యూస్ టు దీస్ థింగ్స్, this is not difficult. Don't think of some big thing like that. Computer is your friend. So you have a computer based exam, and this was introduced. Negative marking has been introduced from 2013. Till 2014 it was paper based exam. 2015 it became online, and negative marking will be there. So you get 1 mark for a right answer and minus 0.25 for a wrong answer. 5 areas are there in CLAT. Okay, what are those areas? English, 40 marks for English. Okay. General knowledge or current affairs. Current affairs again for the last 1 year, 50 marks for current affairs. Logical reasoning, you have 40 marks. Legal aptitude or awareness has got 50 marks. And maths will have 20 marks. So these are the 5 areas that you will be tested on in CLAT. As I said, English 40, GK 50, logical reasoning 40, legal aptitude 50, and maths about 20. And maths is of your school level, 10th, what you studied in 10th only, not even 12th standard, only 10th standard level, your ratio proportion, your percentages, mensuration. These are the kind of things that you will need to do. Not much. Out of 20, if you can get 10 also, that's good enough. Legal aptitude is new, and that's why we are there to help you get there. But a lot of it is also based on what you learn in your civics. So civic students have already familiar with a lot of these things, and the others will of course learn. It's not a big deal. You have logical reasoning, those who like puzzles kind of questions. If you have written a lot of these Olympiads or NTSC exam, all these things, you are familiar with logical reasoning also. Yes. Current affairs is something that you will have to study. Newspaper. Ever newspaper chadavari రోజుల్లో. But for CLAT exam, those who are interested, you need to start reading the newspaper. And that too, preferably English newspaper. You can't study in Telugu and then translate it into English and all that. That's going to be very difficult for you. So better you start reading the news in English. So that isn't. English, of course, that's a very, very important one. English is important. Again, for that, if you've been regularly reading newspaper and you read a few storybooks, get familiar with English. You can get, with preparation, all these are doable. So this is about CLAT exam. 200 marks with negative marking, 1 mark for right answer, minus 0.25 for wrong answer. And these are the breakup of the 200 marks. The other exam, as I said, is Symbiosis. Now Symbiosis, why it's interesting? Symbiosis has an exam which will be for 150 marks and 2.5 hours. So you get more time and less questions. The second very important thing for Symbiosis is no negative marking. That's another big thing. Another third interesting thing for Symbiosis, no maths. So you have logical reasoning, legal reasoning, analytical reasoning, reading comprehension, and GK, all 30 marks each. There's no maths here. Now, what you have to understand is, in Symbiosis, again you have Pune, Noida and Hyderabad, all three areas. But to get into Symbiosis, apart from writing the entrance exam, you have to prepare for personal interaction and writing ability. So those of you, yes, it's easier exam than CLAT, but what is important is you should be a personal interaction is nothing but an interview and writing test. So writing ability, interview is still doable, where you can, with some practice you can do it. But what you have to really work on is the writing ability test. So it is like your essays that you write on any current topic you might be given, and you will have to write an essay with your thoughts on it. So that is something which will need practice, which you will have to work upon it. But Symbiosis, yes, is a good target that one can have apart from the NLUs. ILET is another exam in Delhi. Again, this is 150 questions, but here you have only 1.5 hours. And this is a slightly more difficult exam, I would say, compared to the others. There are only 70 seats also. So this is again 10 marks in maths, and the remaining sections will have 35 marks each. So this is about ILET. And as I said, now one thing I can assure you, if you prepare well for CLAT and you write CLAT, you write Symbiosis, always one needs to have a backup. People write IIT exam, but along with IIT they will also write MSET. If I don't get into IITs, at least I should get into State Engineering College. Same way, as you prepare for CLAT, as you prepare for the private colleges like Symbiosis, you need to also write LawCet, TS LawCet and AP LawCet. And I can confidently tell you, those who prepare well for CLAT will get below 100 rank in LawCet exam. I've seen all our good students, when I say good students, I mean hard-working students. Whoever has worked hard, whoever has prepared well for the CLAT exam, they are able to do exceptionally well in the LawCet exam, and they are getting good ranks. Okay, here you have 3 areas only: general knowledge and mental ability. Then you don't have English as a subject. You have current affairs, and you have aptitude for study of law. So these are the 3 areas that they ask questions, and only 120 marks. So now you have all these. You have understood what is law. You have understood what are the exams that you need to write. You understood what is the career that is there after this. So now that you know what the exams are, how should you prepare, and what is it that we can do to help you? So we have set of programs that we have. Short-term program is called an ALP intensive. This is there after your 12th exams. You finish your 12th exams in March, and this is there in the second Sunday of May. So in that gap, around 45 days course, it's called an ALP intensive program. This is a very intensive program. We also have a residential program during that time for a set number of people, for a limited number of people, and that's one of the exams, one of the courses that is available. Apart from that, we also have a long-term program. That's a 1-year program. People join in June to write the exam in the next May. So it's a 1-year program, ideal for class 12 students. Then those early starters, some of them decide very early, either in their 10th or immediately after joining their 11th, that they want to do law. For such students, we have an ALP comprehensive program, which is a 2-year program. They have classes when they are in the 11th or the first year intermediate, and during some part during summer also, and then again 1 year completely they will go through the extensive program and go through the intensive program. So basically it is intensive is a super comprehensive is a superset of all these courses. Apart from that, those who feel that yes, I cannot come all the way and attend classes, we have a lot of options for self-study programs. There are people who are staying a little away. So what they do, they will enroll for a self-study program. They will study at home throughout the year, and in the summer they will come for the ALP intensive. So they are not starting their preparation after March, which will be too late. They will start much ahead, prepare at home, go through. Now when you say at home, books are given, online content is, you will have an online ID. A lot of content is available online for you. A lot of tests are available for you online. You do all those things, and then you will come for the intensive program. Okay, that's how it's going to be. now that we've talked about the different courses, why Abhyaas or why ALP program? Why should you come to us? So there are a few things that are specific about Abhyaas programs, and I would like to tell you, as the head of the ALP product, I would like to tell you these things. Abhyaas gives personalized mentoring to the students. And what is mentoring? Mentoring means you're not taking a class individually one-on-one. No. But we follow the progress of each student. Because all tests are taken online, so we have complete view of how the student has been performing. Based on that, we are able to give the students, based on how they are performing, we know what is required for each institute. So we will suggest to them the higher chances of which college they can apply to. So that is something which is very, very unique. We are able to do that because of the understanding that we have about the industry, about the different colleges, as well as the students' strengths and the areas that they are good at. So based on these two things, we are able to give them good mentoring. We are also able to give them continuous feedback. When we look at the results, we analyze their result. Then we know that, okay, you have to do more reading practice, or this is why you are getting less marks in a particular section, you are getting more marks in some other section, you have not been reading the newspaper, or you have been reading the newspaper, in spite of it you are not able to do it. So we can pinpoint where the gap is or why they are not able to score in a particular section and which is their strong area. This kind of thing we are able to give them. Another very important aspect is the content that we have. Our content development team, we have a team that does a lot of research on the different the exams that are going on. We provide analysis of as soon as the exam is over, we provide analysis of how many marks one should get, what is a good score, what ranks they can get if they get a particular score. These kind of things we are able to tell them. Apart from that, every year we analyze the papers and then create mock exams which will simulate the actual exam. So there's a lot of research that goes into doing all these things. So we have a very well researched and a rich content which has evolved over the last 8 years. Okay. Results of all the students is also again promptly displayed, because a competitive spirit only comes if you can go to any exam preparing by yourself. But why should you go to get some coaching or mentoring? How does that help you as compared to sitting at home and studying? The biggest difference I would say is the competition. You have an idea of how others are faring. So how we help that is we put up a list of your ranks on a regular basis. Immediately after the exam is over, next day you will see the results. You look at that, you see how somebody else is improving, how you are not got, or if you are doing better, in which area you have done improve. All those things you can see on the notice board, and that will make you would always like to see your name on the top, so you will put efforts in that direction, right? And the last very, very important aspect is our discussion board. As I told you earlier, you will be given an online ID. You will have some maybe video lectures and all that online. You will have a lot of content online. Apart from that, you have something called a discussion board. Now what is discussion board? Discussion board is something where students can post a doubt. You post a doubt and faculty will give you response. So what happens? You are physically not in the class. You might be coming only for 2 days in a week. Or if you are in a self-study program, you may not be coming for classes also till the intensive program starts. But you will have a lot of doubts. So what will you do? You will post your doubts on the discussion board and faculty will give you response for it. So that's again a very, very important, and it's been very successful. We have a lot of queries that come up from students. A little bit about Abhyaas. We've started in 2009, and as I said, we have trained more than 1 lakh students so far across all the different courses. So we have a very good idea of student psychology, what makes them do well and what is it that they need to succeed. And the biggest thing that is important is one needs to dream. If you dream, sky is the limit. So we will help them form their dream, and once they form the dream, it is an autopilot. The will to succeed will be there, and we will only give the right push in order to succeed and go to whatever is your choice, what you wanted to do. So yeah, these are some of the things. What I would like, what you could do is, of course, our team is here to help you out. You could also anytime go to our website and take a diagnostic test. You have some free tests available. You could download our app. There are some free tests available which you can take, which will give you a good idea about our team will tell you how to download the mobile app that we have, or get onto the website and register over there to take a diagnostic test. If you do all these things, definitely you'll get a good idea, and then you can decide how you want to go about it. Okay? So all the best. I'm sure you'd have got a good idea about what is law as a career. If you have any doubts, our team will always be there to help you out. You can always call our landline number and they will give you complete idea. I'm sure that these are not some decisions that you can take. You will have to discuss with your parents, and any queries that they have, our team will be ready to help them out to get a better understanding about the career of law and what they need to do to get there. So all the best. Bye.